When Mike was younger, who did he want to be like? Who did he aspire to be?
Yeah.
I wanted to be, no, it's interesting you say, I didn't want to be like Muhammad Ali because where I came from, Muhammad Ali didn't come from the world I came from. I came from filth and scum and sewage. So I wanted to be mean like Sonny Liston and Jack Dempsey. I wanted to be ferocious. I wanted to kill you with my stare. I wasn't like Muhammad Ali. I love and respect Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali is not like me. He don't come from...
Apologize to me right now. Okay, you look great. Apologize to me before I knock your damn teeth down your throat. You understand me?
Don't hold your breath, Le Champion.
Oh, Jericho!
Oh, no!
Look at Tyson! Tyson, look at right hand on Belfort by Jericho!
Mike Tyson is a true sports legend, but his behavior in the ring and sometimes outside the ring has always revealed the bestial temperament that lives inside the champion. These days, the once strongest man on earth fights brazen passengers and gets on TV shows, but decades ago he terrified all opponents and even journalists who interviewed him. Friends, I think it's time to remember the wildest moments in Mike Tyson's career for which he was feared by absolutely everyone. Here we go. Early in his career, Mike was an extremely disciplined and quiet guy. Under the close supervision of his mentor, Cus D'Amato, the guy was just training, leading the healthy lifestyle, and was not a media personality, but with the coach's death, everything changed. The popularity of Mike grew exponentially, and with it came endless parties, alcohol, and women who deprived him of peace of mind. The victories of the Iron in the ring went on, but soon Tyson got into a situation from which he could not get away and ended up in prison for 4 long years. Upon his return, he was no longer the king of heavyweights that we all got used to, but a different, brutal, and sometimes out of control Mike. After the long-awaited cameo, the former champion obviously wanted to rehabilitate himself and regain his regalia, but to do so, he needed to beat his top contenders. One of the best cruiserweight boxers of the time, Evander Holyfield, accepted Tyson's call-out. Don King was still Iron's promoter at the time, but just before the fight, they had a final severance that looked quite unpleasant.
No, I ain't doing scumbag. You.
Despite his difficulties with King, Mike still got in the ring and sensationally lost by knockout in the 11th round. The veteran's victory was a shock for the public, and the promoters, who sensed possible profit, immediately organized an instant rematch. For the sake of victory, Holyfield decided to use foul play. Evander constantly pushed his opponent off or, on the contrary, pulled him closer, thus depriving the Iron Man of room to maneuver. He also used to hit him with his head. One of those punches even resulted in Mike's cut. Such behavior made Tyson's anger boil over, and in the 3rd round during another clinch, the champ bit Holyfield's ear.
What happened here?
He got bit, I think.
Evander Holyfield, look out! He's pushed right here above us by Tyson.
Despite the behavior from Mike, Evander agreed to continue, but damn it, Tyson did it again.
Mike, now here's the bite. Keep your eye on Mike. See, Mike has just, see, look at him. You can see it. You can see it. There it is.
After the end of the fight, Tyson's trying to get at Holyfield again, I believe. It is complete bedlam, and Tyson is just taking swipes at anybody in front of him.
For his unsportsmanlike behavior, the Iron Man lost his license for a couple of years, but he still wasn't planning to end his career. During his suspension, he led a riotous lifestyle and continued to get into trouble, such as getting into a scuffle with motorists in 1998, for which he had to pay a fine. After the expiration of his sentence, new opportunities opened up for Mike, and first, he decided to fight against former IBF champion, South African Francois Botha. Tyson started to do crazy things even before the fight, so he was interviewed to discuss his antics against Holyfield, and the heavyweight once again could not restrain himself.
You know, who cares? We're in a fight anyway. What does it matter?
Well, for example, rage against Vander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem, turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
Even before his imprisonment, Tyson sometimes gave extraordinary interviews too. For example, before his fight with Canadian Donovan Ruddock, Mike called him his girlfriend.
Okay, you know that.
I don't know why you talk to me like that when you know I'll kill you for it.
That's what I like about you, Mike.
Man, I can't wait till the 28th. I'm gonna make you my girlfriend.
But Mike was a charismatic, funny guy, and now he often lost his temper, and the conversation with the reporter before the confrontation with Holyfield once again showed us how much the Iron has changed in a few years. During the fight, Tyson already started doing wild things in the first round. At the end of the first round, he grabbed Boses' arm and began to twist it really hard.
Here come the corners. Here comes security. It's bedlam in the ring.
It seemed like the crunching of poor Francois' ligaments could be heard all over the huge arena. Mike wouldn't let go, and the South African was trying to do as many punches as he could. In the end, they had to separate them with cornermen and guards. The fight eventually continued, but now the referee would interrupt any clinch in fear of situation being repeated. After the incident, it was Tyson who took the initiative and in the 5th round managed to deliver a crushing punch and knocked out Botha.
Working his way in, he got people's attention, made them put their hands.
The legend's victorious comeback did happen, which meant that the promoters were going to find new, highly rated opponents for him. Next in line was Mike's compatriot, Orlin Norris, nicknamed Night Train. Surprisingly, before the fight, there was no hype and Tyson behaved quite calmly, but already in the ring, the situation became 180 degrees the other way. Tyson had a solid first segment of the fight and landed a left hook after the bell. He knocked out an already relieved Norris with a single punch.
Cautioned by Richard Steele as we head for the bell.
That was a punch while they were talking.
Oh, and he hits him after the bell. Norris goes down, and here we go again. Tyson hit Norris after the bell.
Mike had been deducted 2 points. They could have disqualified him, but the points didn't affect the result, as Orlin refused to continue, referring to the knee injury he got during the fall, and the fight was declared no contest. Here's what Tyson himself had to say about it.
You know, you were there, you saw it. It was simultaneous with the bell. And the punch wasn't that devastating. He could have continued. He quit on his stool, but I'll take him again in my next fight. I'll fight him right away.
Another fight Tyson had against Julius Francis, but this fight was really uninteresting because the Brit had no chance at all. The Mirror, a famous English publishing house, even paid for the ads on the soles of their compatriots' boots because they were convinced that Francis would be on the canvas more than once. The predictions came true, and Julius suffered several knockdowns before finally folding in the 2nd round. The IBA champion Lou Savarese became a new opponent for Mike. In his last performance, Lou knocked out Buster Douglas, who had already shocked the world, and now he wanted to take on Tyson himself, but clearly overestimated his capabilities.
That Tyson threw was like a kick from a horse, and the first one he throws is a left hook that puts Savarese on the floor.
Just 10 seconds from the start, and Savarese started defending after a powerful punch from the Iron, but he pulled himself together and continued to fight, which was a fatal mistake. At full speed, Mike ran into his opponent with a terrifying combination, and the referee knew that the former champion was mad. He had to be stopped, but no way he could do this.
Big left, it's going to be stopped! It's going to be stopped! It's all over! Oh, and he still wants to attack him, and John Coyle is trying to stop the fight, and Tyson fights on. I don't think he understood it. The fight is over.
In moments of unrestrained anger, Tyson was throwing strikes left and right and even hit the referee, who immediately got up and kept trying to stop the guys. Only now the athletes who became courageous were able to calm down. Despite the total lack of discipline and causing damage to the referee, the victory by TKO was awarded to Mike, and Lou Savarese clearly did not agree with it. He wanted a disqualification, but it had already been decided in favor of his opponent. After the win, Tyson gave his legendary interview in which he challenged Lennox Lewis and said a phrase that stuck forever to his image of a madman.
I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody's ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children. Praise be to Allah.
Unfortunately, arranging such a coveted battle between the British heavyweight king didn't work out. Instead, promoters were able to match Mike in the ring with Olympic bronze medalist Andrzej Golota, who had just beaten Orlin Norris by a decision. Truth be told, the confrontation turned out to be one-sided. Tyson imposed an extremely aggressive style of fighting, constantly pressured, and delivered the heaviest blows. Golota was on the floor already in the first round. History, with both boxers receiving $35 million. After this dream fight, Tyson came to the ring as a pro boxer 3 more times, losing 2 of them and finally ending his career. Nevertheless, the champion has not disappeared from the media space. Once every 2 years, he regularly gave tough, sometimes even shocking interviews, reminding everyone about himself. Thus, a poor journalist who came to discuss Mike's photo in the magazine got his ass beaten by the champion.
You know you're a real prick though, right?
What? What's the matter?
You're a real prick. You just hit me with all these disgusting pictures.
Oh, no, but if you don't want to comment on it, don't.
I will comment on it, but you're a prick.
No, what? No, I didn't. I'm just trying to, we're trying to, if you don't want to comment on it, you don't have to.
I am going to comment on it, but you're a prick. Continue.
We're coming back here.
You're unsensitive. You have no sensitivity to anything. It doesn't affect me, but I'm saying you have no sensitivity. You don't know how this affects me.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that your life is at the point I was making, Mike, and I'm going to ask you about it.
All right, and I give you my opinion, what I think about you.
Journalists constantly caught Tyson in the bad mood. Mike was so rude to the girl who asked him a question without a line that everyone in the room freaked out.
That you can win this fight?
Are you talking out of turn?
No, I think we're all talking together.
I normally don't do interviews with women unless I fornicate with them. So you shouldn't talk anymore. Unless you wanna.
On a TV show about politics, Tyson started humiliating the interviewer and embarrassing him, which made the host interrupt the program as soon as possible.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
You know, we're doing live TV.
Hey, I don't care. What are you gonna do about it? It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear us talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
No, because you're a piece of shit. All right, really.
Already in 2019, Iron was interviewed on the topic of Andy Ruiz's championship, and he rudely expressed his thoughts about overweight people to the journalist, which nowadays may well be punishable by actual imprisonment.
Is it possible, could you imagine before the fight that a man who looks like him could be champ? Fat man.
Listen, see, that's your problem. That was Anthony Joshua's problem. We underestimate that. We see he's fat. We believe fatness is bad. We believe in the world fat is bad. You see somebody fat, he's disgusting, he's lazy. You see a girl fat, she's a fat fucking dick. Why don't she work out? Why don't he work out? I would never date somebody fat. And that's our perception of fat.
Yes, after prison, the Iron Man was incredibly changed and was no longer like his old self. His wild temper terrified everybody, from rivals to commentators, and his tricks became a part of boxing history. But at the same time, Mike is a veteran and a true legend who gave all his best years to the sport. Yes, sometimes he was over the top, but for me personally, those bright and uncompetitive fights, those teeth-grinding knockouts are much more important than all those crazy moments. Tyson is the main face of the best era of boxing, which will remain in the hearts of fans forever.